Hi guys, I'm Sydney at Amazing Matthew. In this video, I'm going to be talking about how Matt Espinosa made a positive impact on my life. I'm going to be going into things like how Matt saved me and how Matt made me the person who I am today. I first found out about Matt through Nash Greer. It was around 7th grade, so about 2 years ago. So pretty much like no one knew about the MagCon, and so I thought, you know what, why not? Because during the time, I didn't know who I was. I didn't know who I wanted to be. I was completely lost. At school I was bullied. I was going through a really hard time. I only had about 2 friends, and I felt like the whole world was against me, and that I just was just another person that had no purpose or anything. And I became a fan of Matt, and I started watching his videos, and they always made me smile. Even when I was crying, I would just smile at my screen. During the time, I was going through a lot of family problems. My mom and I would always get in fights, and people would always make fun of me for the stupidest things, like being too short or being too skinny or even being adopted. People would make rude comments about that. So I thought a way to get away from that would be to make a fan page for Matt on Instagram. And so I did. I called it Smiling Matthew. I really liked to make edits and stuff for Matt, and I started to write a fan fiction. And let me just say this. That account that I made was probably one of the best decisions in my life, because at that moment I knew that I joined a fandom and that the girls that I met through this fandom would be with me forever. And I met so many friends through this fan page that I talked to, and they helped me when I needed it most. So I made this fan page, and Matt would always post the sweetest things, and whenever I needed to smile again, I would just go on Matt's YouTube, because he always reminded me that it doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter who is calling you names or what they're calling you. You are beautiful. I didn't believe it. I still don't believe it. But Matt reminded me that there are people out there that care about me, that want me to succeed. And there are people that will hate on me for the rest of my life, but I can't help that. That's life. I was going, like I said before, I was going through some really hard family problems, and I refused to go to school for about a few days, and my mom said, you know what, I'm sending you to a shelter. So I stayed in a shelter for 2 weeks. I was miserable. And at the time, it was when Carter was about to have a meet and greet in Florida, where I live, and I really wanted to go, but I was in a shelter. I had no Wi-Fi, I had no YouTube. I had nothing except myself and a pen and paper and the bullies at school. and my 2 friends. I got a phone call from my mom saying that my grandpa was really sick. And she told me that he was about to die. I completely lost it. I thought that God just didn't like me. I felt that he put me on this earth to just take advantage of me. And I was just completely lost. I finally got out of the shelter, and a week later, I was sitting in my mom's bedroom and I was talking to her. She would not take me to see my grandpa because she'd said that she didn't want me to see him like this. And, we got a phone call, and it was, my aunt. The day that we got the phone call was the day before my confirmation in church. And, my whole family was supposed to come down to see it. So my mom answered the phone, and it was my aunt saying that my grandpa had just passed away. I never even got to say goodbye. The next day, my family couldn't make it to the confirmation thing. So it was just me and my mom, and I didn't really want to talk to anybody. I was still really upset from what had happened. I mean, who wouldn't be? That day, I had to read a speech in front of about 50 different people, and while I was reading that speech, I felt that God came to me and he said that I am here for a reason. I am here to make a difference in this world. I'm here to make people smile and not to make myself sad. I'm here for a reason. And I started posting more on the fan page and to show support for Matt because he's helped me so much. I made a lot of friends with the fan page, including my really good friend Haley, who we were kind of going through similar stuff, like having depression and not being able to just get it all out, you know? And we were talking about how the boys saved us. And I told her that without Matt and his inspirational tweets, I would not be here. If it weren't for Matt, I would still be that girl that didn't know who I wanted to be. So I started writing more fan fiction and for Matt, and I loved it. I wrote it on my free time, and my friend would help me out with it and help me come up with ideas. And she would give me ideas and I would write about it, and that was just the best thing. I loved my fan fiction. Well, something came up and my mom found out that I had posted a picture on my my fan page for Matt, and it was saying how I felt hated, and I felt like no one was there for me. It was a whole long thing about how useless I was. I was just really upset that day. I don't even know why. And so she took my Instagram and she logged out of it and stuff. But before that, I forgot about who I really was. And I said to myself, you know what? I know that Matt is there for me, with or without YouTube or Instagram. I know that somewhere in this world, Matt is there, and he is thinking about every single one of his fans. My mom took away my Instagram account for 3 months. So during that 3 months, I would just write my fan fiction. That was it. That was the only thing that really kept me happy. And I would sometimes go on Twitter and see Matt's tweets, and I would smile. Because she would not let me use my phone. She bought me a flip phone, which I still have. She won't give me my other phone back because she still doesn't trust me with internet. So I finally got my iPod back, where I would post and make edits and post on my Instagram. And I come back, and the first thing I do is I turn it on, and I go into my Instagram, and I see that it's logged out, and I try to log back in. And someone had hacked into my account and had taken away the email that I had so I could reset my password, and they had changed the password for my Instagram account so I could no longer get in. And I was devastated because all those edits, all those things that I made for Matt were gone. I thought it was a sign that maybe I shouldn't be a fangirl. Maybe I'm not accepted in this fandom. But Matt tweeted something. I forget what it was. He said, it was like, I love each and every one of you, or something. He said, like, even though I don't follow you, or even though I don't notice you, it doesn't mean I don't love you. And I said, you know what? Maybe this is just a time where I need to take a break for a little bit. So I kept in mind that Matt still loved me, and Matt would always be there for me when I needed it most, even if he didn't notice me or I didn't have a fan page for him. People would say rude things about, oh, that's that girl that's obsessed with guys that'll never know she'll exist. And that makes me really upset because I see girls that meet Matt and Nash and Cam and Jack and who don't even really know who they are, the newborns. When I see the newborns meet Matt, and I know that I've been there since the beginning, it makes me really upset. I've been trying for about 2 years now to get tickets. And, my mom won't buy them for me. So, my possibilities of meeting Matt are just getting lower and lower. So, it's the summer of 8th grade. It's the summer after 8th grade, and, my mom was, still really upset that, I posted stuff about how I hated myself and how I didn't know who I really was and how I didn't like myself. So she decided to send me to a private school the next year. So I now go to Calvary Christian, but flashback, summer of 8th grade. My mom wanted me to grow up. She wanted me to get out of this stage. She thought I was immature. And she decided, we came up with an agreement that I would be sent away for 4 weeks over summer to a camp called Camp Frontier. It was an amazing camp, let me tell you this. I met friends that I will never forget. I met the nicest people. And during that time, one of my counselors, her name was Kirsten, she actually had been friends with Matt before he was famous. They met somewhere, and she like texted him all the time. And she comes up to me one day and she goes, "Sydney, if you ever have a bad day or something's just really bothering you, just come let me know." And I said, "Okay." I didn't really know what she meant, but so we wake up the next morning and she comes up and she goes, "Sydney, I have a surprise for you." And I said, "Can I have it?" Oh no, I didn't say that. I said, "What is it?" And she goes, "I can't tell you. We have to arrange it, okay?" And so I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" She goes, "Well, just tell me a date that you want it." And I said, "Sunday." And she's like, "Okay, I'll try as hard as I can." And what she had done was she wanted Matt to FaceTime me. And because she knew that I had been like telling her like my whole life story while I was at camp, and she knew that Matt meant so much to me, and that I just loved him so much. And what she did was she arranged a date for me and Matt to FaceTime off her phone. But something came up and he wasn't able to do it. And I was crushed. I took that as another sign that I shouldn't be in the fandom anymore. But I said, you know what? I'm supposed to be in this fandom. I'm supposed to be in this fandom for a reason. If I wasn't supposed to be in this fandom, I would have not made such amazing internet friends. Shout out to you guys. I love you. So her second idea was for Matt to send me an email. Well, while I was at camp, I was only at camp for 4 weeks, which seems like a really long time, but trust me, it felt like a week. Yeah, I was having so much fun. It was probably the best 4 weeks of my entire life. It made me so happy. I actually felt like I matured, and I became a better person. So at camp, if someone sent me an email, in the subject bar they would write my name. So they would say Sydney. And they would send it to campfrontier@gmail.com or something like that. And so she got Matt to send me one of those. Well, Brian, the owner of the camp, goes every other day to get the letters. Well, somehow mine wasn't printed out in time. Shocking, right? And so I asked Kirsten where it was because it was been like a week. And And she's like, it'll get here, I promise. And she texted Matt, and I asked her about it, and she's like, yeah, he said he sent it, so you're fine. He had sent the email, but it was too late because my 4 weeks was over and I was scheduled to go home. And before I left, Kirsten said, Sydney, if that email comes, I promise I'll send it to you, because she had my address and my phone number and stuff. So it has been like 3 months since that. About 2 months since that, and I still have gotten nothing. But that doesn't really matter to me, because whether I get noticed by Matt or not, I still know that I made his dreams come true. We all made his dreams come true. And he loves every single one of us with all of his heart. And that he cares about every single one of us. If he didn't care about us, he would not tweet those things about trying to boost up your confidence. He would not be at meet and greets every other weekend to make us smile if he didn't care about us. So I made I have a fan fiction that I've been getting really interested in, and since 6th grade, I always told myself that I wanted to be a news reporter when I grew up. But ever since I started writing that fan fiction, I didn't realize this, but my peers said that, Sydney, you have a talent. My teachers would read stories that I have written and say, Sydney, you need to pursue this as a career. And so I thought about it, and I said, you know what? I'm actually thinking about doing this. So let me just say this. Joining this fandom was the best thing that's ever happened to me. Because if I have not joined this fandom, I would have not made amazing friends that I've met. I would have not realized who I really am. I would not be here if it weren't for Matt. Trust me. I would come home from school and I told myself I wanted to die. I would look in my mom's medicine cabinet and I looked and I said, no, Matt would not want this to happen to me. Matt cares. Even though I've never been noticed by him, I still know that he loves each and every one of us. Whether you realize it or not, it's true. I promise you that. Never give up, guys. One day the time will come and you'll meet Matt one day. Maybe I'll even meet Matt one day. And my dreams will come true. But for now, we just have to wait and be patient and do everything you can to make him happy. Because he saved us, guys. We made his dreams come true while he saved us. It's a win-win for both of us. I want everyone to know that, okay? If you're ever feeling down or sad, just know that Matt cares about you. Because you made his dreams come true. Without you, without all of us, none of this would be here. There would be no MagCon. There would be no meet and greets. This fandom would not be in existence if it weren't for us, guys. So I was thinking about becoming an author, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna write a book one day, and it's gonna be about my life story. And I'm gonna go up, and I'm gonna have a meeting with girls. I'm just gonna have girls all over the room, and I'm gonna tell them that they are beautiful, no matter what anyone says, because I know what it's like to not feel loved or to not be happy. I know. I know what it's like to be depressed. I've been there. I know what it's like to want to die. Trust me, I know my makeup's everywhere. I'm sorry. I want to tell every girl out there that there are people out there that love you. Even if you don't know it, there are. Trust me, I love you. I love everyone. Okay, I even love the haters, because without the haters, I would not be who I am. Matt, if you are watching this, I cannot even thank you enough for what you do. You saved me in every way a person could be saved. You caught me when I fell down. You've always been there for me. Words cannot even, I cannot even express to you how lucky I am to be a Matt girl, to realize that you are there for me. Matt, I love you with all my heart. I'm not making this video for a follow. I'm not making this video to get attention. I'm making this video to say thank you. Thank you for what you do. Because without you, and without me, and without all of us, none of this would be here. None of us would be the people we are today. I'm happy to be in this fandom. For the first time in forever. I'm actually happy. And I'm glad. I'm glad to know that people are out there for me. And I love every single person that cares about me. And I can't thank each and every one of you that are watching this video. And I can't thank each and every one of you that's ever been there for me or ever talked to me when I needed it. Because I would not be here if it weren't for you. So like I said, this video is to say thank you. This video is for you, Matt, and to all the people who have been there for me when I needed it most. Thank you for always being there. And thank you, Matt, for putting a smile on my face. Because of you, I'm actually happy. I love you so much, Matt. I can't even tell you how much I love you. Even if I'm not able to meet you one day, I want you to know that you saved my life. I know you hear that a lot, but you honestly saved me. Thank you, Matt. I love you so much. Thank you for watching, guys. Remember that you are perfect. You are worth it. You are worth everything. Okay? I love you.